turn them up. From Biafra land to the whole world. Now who they talk? The voice of Biafra. We know they hide again, we don't show face. True don't wake up, you know fit the race. From village squad to overseas, everybody they have frequency. We they stand the dig bar, no shaking. No more silence, we they breaking. From the east side to the diaspora, now we be the real voice of Biafra. Biafra, make them hear us. Biafra, nobody can stop us. Biafra. Fire they burn, anywhere you they make you tune and turn. Signal down strong, you don't reach everywhere. From Africa go, you then they hear I'm clear. We they talk truth, we know they fear. Turn them up. From Biafra land to the whole world. Now who they talk? The voice of Biafra. We know they hide again, we don't show face. True don't wake up, you know fit the race. From village squad to overseas, everybody they have frequency. We they stand the dig bar, no shaking. No more silence, we they breaking. From the east side to the diaspora, now we be the real voice of Biafra. Biafra, make them hear us. Nobody can stop us. Fire they burn, anywhere you they make you turn. Signal down strong, you don't reach everywhere. From Africa go Europe, then they hear I'm clear. We they talk truth, we know they fear. Turn them up. From Biafra land to the whole world. Now who they talk? The voice of Biafra. We know they hide again, we don't show face. True don't wake up, you know fit the race. From village squad to overseas, everybody they have frequency. We they stand the dig bar, no shaking. No more silence, we they breaking. From the east side to the diaspora, now we be the real voice of Biafra. Biafra, make them hear us. Biafra, nobody can stop us. Biafra. Fire they burn, anywhere you they make you tune and turn. Signal down strong, you don't reach everywhere. From Africa go Europe, then they hear I'm clear. We they talk truth, we know they fear. Turn 'em up.
Okike Abiyama who resided in heaven. Therefore, as we always commence, not from today, but from of old. Our Father who art in heaven, nanyị nke bi n'eluigwe, ka aha gị dị nsọ. That your name may be hallowed by men. May bow at the mention of it, that we may offer every glory unto thee, that we may offer you every adoration and adulation. Because there is none like thee. You fight our battles for us. every blessed day you demonstrate through your kindness and your everlasting mercy that you are our Lord, our God, and our Creator. This evening we offer these your children unto thee. All over this very planet that you created, they are listening across the entire 24 time zones on this very planet where they inhabit. They are listening to your gospel this very evening, this gospel of redemption, a gospel of hope, a gospel of restoration, of freedom, this very gospel of emancipation as ordained.
I guess the broadcast is not going to. I don't want it to continue like this since it's not coming out how you expected it to be. I really apologize for that, and I have to cut that prayer because this is a wonderful prayer that we don't need to. It's not a prayer that we can play with. So if the network is not, or my gadget is not allowing us to do that which is necessary, uh, you know, we are going to, you know, we are going to manage it like that. And please, I'm so sorry. Like I told you guys, the gadget that I'm using is Windows 7. Windows 7 is an old gadget, so that is why most of these things, distractions, most of these in hold ups, if I may use that word, jams, the hangings. That is why it is happening. It's not naturally because of network. So until I change the gadgets, I think I will continue to manage it. Please bear with me. Yeah, thank you so much, wonderful Biafrans and lovers of freedom all over the world. I welcome you to yet another wonderful day, another beautiful day. Today is yet another day. Today is the 15th day of April 2026. And here we are preaching the gospel of Biafra, the gospel of redemption, the gospel of our freedom. And we will continue to do so. First of all, where are you watching us from? You can as well write in the comment section so that we will appreciate your presence. Your presence will be very much appreciated because it's you people that is giving me the morale, the courage to come online, to speak. Without you, I wouldn't be here. I'll be talking to myself. And it's good. I appreciate any one of you. It's not easy. It's just like when you go to the market. When you carry something and you go to the market to sell and nobody is buying, you just pack your load and go home. It's just like when you are dancing and nobody is looking at you. You are not getting the interest of anybody. Then it means you are dancing to yourself. So you are the engine room, you are the fuel that I'm using to operate. You are the energy, the encouragement that I receive is what is propelling me to always come. irrespective of what this gadget is doing. But I can never stop doing what I love to do best, if not because of these gadgets. I know a lot of things that we should be doing by now, but it is not something that we do, and we are having some kind hitches. You know, the network will be hanging or the laptop will be hanging. No, it's something that we need to do on a very serene environment. No distraction whatsoever. No distraction at all. So, be that as it may, appreciations to each and every one of you guys. You guys are exceptional. Thank you so much. I have a video. Since I'm getting all these problems, I don't know, the video may not play, because now that it started this way, now that it has started this way, perhaps I may play it here while I put on the video here. Perhaps I may play it on my phone while I show the video online. You see, the topic that we have today, Lokon TVC. Lokon TVC, agent of the Fulanis, agent of the terrorists, promoters of jihad, the promoters of conquest, the Fulani oligarchies. These people that you see in your communities, all those Fulani ragtag, you see them in your community, Aboki na Chinama. You see them carrying onions around their vicinities. You see them shoe shiners, shoemakers. They sell carrots. They sell sugar cane. They even sell beans. Hawking things around your communities. These people are the agents that is being used to watch your communities. These people are the people that are giving information. They participate in the jihad as well. They participate in the killings. But their primary responsibility in your villages, in your communities, in your state, the work that they primarily do is to give information to the terrorists in army uniform, to the terrorists on bike, to the terrorists that are in different police stations. You see all those police stations that you have in your community, where you have little problems, they carry you go to the community. You see one aboki, one malam that is there, one Fulani. They are taking notice of what is happening in the community, how the people react, how people combat issues that need to do with security. And why they take all this inventory, they relay such news, they give that information, they give a feedback to those who sent them to that communities, to those who sent them to that station. So all these people that you see, most of them, you look at them, you think that, oh, you have pity on them. You know, we the Biafran people, there is the way that God created us is different from every other race. We are the only people that really have pity. We feel the pains of other people. We can even go an extra mile of bringing somebody. It is only the Igbo person, Igbo man, can bring somebody he never knew, he never knows for life before. Because of the pity, because of the love, because of the human feelings that you have for such person, you can bring that person to your home. You can give him a house to live. You can give him a job to do. When you don't know the person, you don't know where he's coming from. You don't know what his mindset is. It is only the Biafran people that does that. And this is what is synonymous. This is what is happening in our communities. In the whole community that we come from, especially in Biafra land, you will see one malam. Maybe in the morning you see him carrying sugar cane. In the evening you see him going to primary school to go and sleep. Oh, one day you come across him, hey, you are feeling pity on him. Hey, yeah, oh, this person is suffering, oh, have a mother, oh, does not have a father, oh, how can we help him, oh, he does not have a helper, oh. And you begin to approach, you begin to have a kind of pity on such individual. You will now be thinking, what are you going to do in order to assist him, in order to help him out of the problems or the predicament or the situation that he finds himself. In some cases, you take your clothes and give to him. In some cases, you buy food and give to him. In some cases, you get him shelter. You bring him closer to your family. This is what our people have done, have been doing. Not only to the Hausa, not only to the Fulani, but every other person that we find that, oh, our situation is better than that person. You feel you can render a kind of help to that person. This singular act of kindness one minute.
Turn 'em up. From Biafra land to the whole world. Now who they talk? The voice of Biafra. We know they hide again. We don't show face. True don't wake up in no fit race. From village squad to overseas, everybody they have frequency. We they stand the dig bar, no shaking. No more silence, we they breaking. From the east side to the diaspora, now we be the real voice of Biafra. Biafra, let them hear us. Biafra, nobody can stop us. Biafra, fire they burn. Anywhere you they make you tune and turn. Signal down strong, we don't reach everywhere. From Africa go Europe, then they hear I'm clear. We they talk truth, we know they fear.
Yeah, so this act of kindness, that we exhibit to our people, to the every race in that contraption, have become part of our undoing. You go to communities, you see where strangers are living even better than the owners of the land. You see how strangers are being taken care of. This is who we are. We don't discriminate. We don't discriminate. We don't hate anybody. We live, and we expect others to live as well. This act of kindness has been one of the problems that we are facing today. This act of kindness have now turned against us. The same people that you showed love, you showed kindness to, you showed care to, the same people are now turning around against you. The same people that you gave shelter, the same people that you gave food, the same people that you gave clothing, these same people are now the killers. These same people are now the people who are bringing their brothers who are killers from Sahel to come to our land, to kill, to maim, and to destroy. So the Fulani people, more importantly, these Fulanis that are not indigenous to Nigeria, they are the problems that we are facing today. Everybody is facing in Nigeria. These people came into Nigeria through the back door. They didn't come through the borders. They didn't come legally. Though Nigeria have a very porous border, they were brought in by the Fulanis. The Fulani in the north, they brought them in to help them rig election. And since after rigging that election, those who brought them decided to resettle them, to now come and enjoy Nigeria. Not only allowing them to remain in Nigeria, but now giving them arms and ammunition to evict the owners of the land, to chase you out. Ka wo ọbịa ọbịara ịbịa bụ onye ọbịara na be ya. You were allowed into another country. You are now taking over the country, and the people who allowed you to come in are now your enemies. This is what is happening today. And coupled with the fact that the leaders, the rulers, the politicians in Nigeria are heavily compromised. One thing that I don't know how to explain, perhaps somebody should explain to us better. All these politicians that we have in Nigeria, are they really indigenous to the land? Because it beats one's imagination. I don't know how we are going to, explain this. That in Biafra land, for instance, the politicians that we have in Biafra land are people that we know. Even before they come into political office. These are people who have vowed, promised that they are going to, do wonders They are going to protect your territory. They are going to give you good roads. They are going to protect your life. They are going to build schools. They are going to build infrastructure. They are going to promise you heaven and earth. But as it is now, the promises that they made to our people, these promises have not been met. And not even that, our people are not even looking up to their promises. Rather, our people want security. Our people want good life. Our people want to enjoy the benefits of living, at least for the time being that they are still very much alive. The promises of the politicians are not coming to pass. Now, the people that are coming to kill our people in our homeland, these politicians supposed to protect these people that they are governing from the marauders, from the intruders into our communities. Yet, these politicians cannot do anything. They cannot speak. They cannot defend. They cannot fight. They cannot even stand for the people that are being killed, for the people that are being destroyed. Their properties are being overrun or taken over. The politicians cannot even speak for us. That is the problem that we are having at this particular time. We have a situation that needs urgent attention. We have a situation in Biafra land that your brother is a politician, your father is a politician, you yourself, you are a politician. You make money out of the land. You get paid for what you do. You get contract from government. You have grants from the government as well to develop your community. But yet, there are no developmental projects that is happening in your community. Since time immemorial, there are no good roads that are in our communities. Our people cannot access pipe-borne water. No hospitals. No hospital, no developmental project is happening in Biafra land. And you are a senator. You are a representative. You are a councillor. You are a PG. You are a political office holder in your community, and no community developmental project is affecting positively the lives of your people. You ask, what is the reason why all these things are happening? Why are people not living up to the promises that they made to the people? What is actually the problem? It is as a result of the fact that these people who were supposed to be the protectors, the defenders of their communities, have now compromised their position with the political office holders, with the leaders in Nigeria. More importantly, the Fulani oligarchies. Because I can't bring myself to the knowledge of the fact that in my community, this is a community that I grew up to know. My father gave birth to me and my brothers and sisters. We knew that this community belongs to us. We don't have light, we don't have water, no good roads, no schools, no hospitals. We grew that all these things are not made available. We also grew up to understand that some people contested for positions in order to put in place all these things that I mentioned. And the last time I checked, these people are in government. But yet, those amenities that they promised the people, those amenities that the people should have, are not available, are not made available to the people. What must be the cause? What must be the reason? Is it that these people are wicked? Is it that these people are self-centered? Is it that these people don't care? Or is it that these people don't see what you and I are seeing? Or that they don't feel, or that they don't undergo, or they don't pass through all this suffering that we pass through in our communities? Because I don't believe that they go through all these things. I don't believe that they see all these things. I don't believe that they experience all these things. Because if you do, just for instance, a road to your community, a road to your house is not motorable. And every day, every now and then, you pray that you wake up someday and see that that road is no longer there. But every day it is happening. Every day the road is there. Then all of a sudden you are elected a political office holder and you have an opportunity of repairing that road. The road is still there till tomorrow. What is the reason why you saw the road even when you were not elected? You are now elected and the road is still there. No, it has not been repaired. It's not been constructed. And yet you are the representative of that community. Then what is the reason? What might have been the reason why such persons are in such a position to do the needful and repair the road, but they can't do it? What is actually the reason for doing that? For their inability to repair the road? Is it that they don't feel the pain that the people go through that road? Or that that road is not their primary responsibility? Or is it that they felt that if they do the road, that is not going to promote their political ambition? Or is it because of their hatred for their people? Or is it because that, how am I going to place this, please? Or is it because that all these people are wicked? Because it's very, very sad that when you go to some of our communities today, all the basic amenities that we need, they are absent. Healthcare system, we don't have. Good network, road network, we don't have. Good schools, we don't have. Pipe-borne water, nowhere. Electricity, nothing. Employment, nothing. Even the people that are self-employed, they undergo rigorous sufferings in the hands of the security agencies, which the same people that are political office holders brought them into such community. Then you ask, are these people really Biafrans? Are they part of our community? Or were they brought to our community in order for them to hold us hostage? Were they brought to our community in order to destroy us as a people? Were they brought in our community in order to promote the Islamic agenda? Because what Boko Haram is signifying is that uh, 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 um, education is haram, civilization is haram. So all these people that now they know that this road, these infrastructures are going to bring civilization, is going to bring development in our communities, they refuse to do that. What it means is that, are they now promoting Boko Haram? Are they now promoting uh, 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 um, are they now promoting, you know, lack of development. Of course, that is what they are promoting, but is it their mindset? Is it that they support what Boko Haram stand for, or that they are ignorant of their work or their duty as representatives of the people? Because it's very, very sad that when you go to our communities today, it is nothing to write home about. This is a community that we grew up while our fathers could not provide all these amenities for us. We have an opportunity of making the people to live, at least to have a semblance of relief. Gone are the days that we can go to the stream to go and fetch water. People now embark upon you know, self-help. You now open your borehole and draw the water from the ground, which are primarily the responsibility of the government to provide for us. People now build roads, something that it is government duty to provide for them. So, what is actually happening in Biafra land that our people are suffering, and those who are in political office who should have been in a position to alleviate the sufferings of our people, what our people undergo daily basis in our land, people who are in a position to promote the development of our land, are now the enemies the Biafran people have. Very, very sad. So, coming to my topic today, I want us to listen to what happened in this interview. You know, the TVC is a Tinubu television station. Tinubu misinformation platform. The Yoruba people, right from time that our leader Mazen Nandekano is here, a lot of expositions was made about what the Yoruba news media, their journalists, are doing that is not really helpful. It's not helpful to the people, and it is not even helpful to their profession. This guy, this man, Alex Beber, he works for a non-governmental organization, and he came to Nigeria and saw the atrocities that is happening in Nigeria. He saw the evil that Nigerian government were committing. He saw the jihad, which is being supervised by the Nigerian government. Yes, the killing that is happening in Nigeria today is a supervised killing. Those who are supervising it are those who are at the highest position, those who are occupying the highest political position in Nigeria. They are the one who are supervising the jihad that is happening in Nigeria. Tinubu is aware of what is happening. Shetima is aware of what is happening. They are the ones who are supervising the killing. Erufai, all the politicians from the Fulani axis and the Yoruba axis, all of them are funding the terrorism that we have. in that Nigeria. That is their problem. It's as well our problem. If the Nigerian government is not in support of the killings, of the jihad, of the terrorism that is happening, the Nigerian government have the capacity, they have the capability to put an end to terror and terrorism in Nigeria. But because the Nigerian government is supporting it, is funding it, is overseeing it, is promoting it, has approved of it, there is nothing anybody can do that the Nigerian government will see it as a positive vibe towards ending the terrorism that they themselves are supervising and funding. So this man traveled all the way from the United States of America, came to Nigeria for a humanitarian work. He traveled from America, came to Nigeria for a work to rebuild some communities that these terrorists have destroyed. He traveled from America to come and help helpless communities under a non-governmental, a non-profit organization group where he's now rebuilding communities. And while he was rebuilding communities, helping the people, he saw the atrocity that is happening. He saw the terrorism that is happening. He saw the killing that is happening. He saw the destruction of lives and properties. As a human that he is, he feels the pain of the people that are directly affected by this terrorism. He sees communities being killed. You can imagine you go to a community, you want to go and help them, and while you are in that community, you are seeing how people are being killed. You are seeing how communities are being burned. You are seeing how people are being beheaded. As a human that you are, you must be forced to speak out. Somebody that have a human heart must feel the pain of others, must speak out in a little way that you can to make your voice heard and to let the government understand that people are being killed. That is what this Alex Bebe, when he came to the north, he saw how the Fulanis are killing people, and there is no government action to that. He saw how communities are being burnt. He saw how the indigenous people are being driven away out of their ancestral land, and the government are actually not doing anything. Absolutely, the government is doing nothing to bring back those that are taken out of their community. It is very, very sad. When you go to Benue State, with what has happened in Benue State and what is happening, one would have expected the government of Nigeria to take the killings and the lives that have been lost very seriously and be able to relocate back the people that were driven in their land and rebuilding the communities that have been burnt and destroyed. This is what is expected of the Nigerian government. But that is not the case. The Nigerian government ignores the killings. The Nigerian government rather prefer the people to stay in IDP camp. The same Nigerian government see the terrorists who have evicted people from their land Resettling in this community that they took away from them, the government is doing nothing, absolutely nothing. How will you feel as a foreigner in that land, that the people that you come to help, while helping them, you see all these challenges that they face? You see all the killings, all the destructions, all the displacement, and the people that are mostly affected are women and children. The men are not even spared. Once they get the male, they hack them down, they kill them, they behead them, they shoot them. But the women and the children, who are the most vulnerable, how do you see yourself as a foreigner when you come to such community to help them? And you see this atrocity, this evil happening in such community, and you cannot speak. If you cannot speak, then you are evil. So this man came to the north, and he's seen all these things that is happening. I have seen that the government is not doing anything to help the people. He has to add his voice to the voices of the people that are speaking. He has to let the government understand that it is their responsibility to defend the people. He also has to educate the people that they need to defend themselves. They need to form a defensive mechanism to protect their women, to protect their children, to protect their lives, and to protect their land. So while Alex was using the opportunity of his humanitarian services in the north to speak to the people, to wake up their consciousness, because Nigeria has happened to them to the extent they are now so helpless, even to think for themselves. What is the Tinubu TVC doing? They are now telling the world that Alex is inciting the people against one another. The TVC, Tinubu station, television station, is telling the world, telling Nigerians that this man that is doing a humanitarian work, that he is inciting the people. What is his incitement? The incitement is that Alex is telling the people to defend themselves, which is a law of nature, to protect their women and children, which is a law of nature, to protect their land, to Tinubu, to Shetima, to Ribadu, to all these northern Fulani oligarchies who are in government, to all these who are supporters of this evil. To them, it is incitement, because they don't want the people, they don't want the masses to rise up and defend themselves. They don't want the people to rise up and challenge the status quo, because the Nigerian government have signed out every indigenous person to be killed and the terrorists taking over their land. That is what the Nigerian government have done. And that is the reason why they cannot defend you, they cannot protect you, they cannot fight for you, they cannot even speak for you. So, with what is happening today, the people in the Middle Belt, the people in Plateau, the people in Borno, the people in Kwara, in Katsina, in Jos, all over the north, the indigenous people who are the owners of the land, the Kanuris, the people who are the owners of the land, they should rise up and defend themselves. Because if you don't do that, your life is in danger. So I want us to go through this interview where the TVC reporter was trying to say or accusing LS of incitement, because it's very important that you know what the Nigerian government are doing. Once you start to defend yourself, you become a problem. Once you fight for what you believe in, you become a problem. You become a problem that you want to defend yourself. You want to defend your women and children. They even called him an agent of the CIA. They called Ellis an agent of the CIA. They said that he has come to destabilize the nation. He has come to destabilize Nigeria. He is, stoking up ethnic tensions here and there. But the truth of the matter is that Alex is on a mission to help the poor, to help the displaced, to help the persecuted, and help them in rebuilding some of their homes that were destroyed. He is a missionary. He was sent on this job, and he came on the course of his duty, on his course of rebuilding the community that he was sent to. He see that the atrocities are still not abating. It is not stopped by the government. He also saw that the government is actively involved in what is happening in that community. He has to call the community, he has to call the government out. And now the government television station now have to accuse him of incitement. So I want us to listen so that we are going to, we are going to analyze the information or the interview.
Good evening and welcome to Politics on Sunday. I am Femi Akonde. Last week on the program, we spoke with the Senior Special Assistant to President Bola Tinubu on community engagement in the North Central, Abiodun Eshet, on the federal government's response to the persistent violence in Plateau State. During that conversation, one name stood out: Alex Babir, a Christian missionary now at the center of a growing controversy.
You see it, a Christian missionary now at the helm of controversy. What is this controversy? What is this controversy all about? To them, it's a controversy. For Alex Babir, speaking against the injustices, for Alex speaking against the persecution of Christians, for Alex speaking against the injustices of the Nigerian terrorist state, for Alex speaking that the government should rise up, he is now being challenged. They are now crucifying him for speaking out against the Nigerian government policy against the people. So he is now at the center. He said he is at the center of controversy. What is that controversy they are talking about? That Alex is telling the people to rise up and defend themselves.
He has been accused of encouraging local communities to take up arms in self-defense.
You see that? He have been accused. Alex have been accused of encouraging the communities to take up arms against the state. So this is, this is very, very important too. And it should be an eye-opener to Biafrans anywhere that you are. This should raise a very serious concern for you as a Nigerian. If you are a Nigerian, if you are a Biafran, I want you to know how dangerous your life is in Nigeria. I want you to know how the Nigerian government have sold each and every one of us. They have sold us to the highest bidder, to the enemies. Because if a missionary can come to Nigeria and have seen the atrocity that is being committed against the people, and have seen the government ineptitude, the government lackluster attitude towards the defense, the protection of the people, and this man speaks out, he encouraged the people to defend themselves. Now, the Nigerian government is seeing it as an affront, is seeing it as incitement, is seeing it as challenge, and seeing it as instigating crisis in the region. Then you, as a Biafran, should be very, 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 very afraid of your life. Because what it means is that you have no right to speak for yourself. You have no right to defend yourself. You have no right to defend your women. You have no right to defend your children. You have no right to defend your community. The same accusation that they led to Maazin Nnamdi Kanu, our leader Maazin Nnamdi Kanu. The same thing that made Maazin Nnamdi Kanu, they're still holding him in detention today. Maazin Nnamdi Kanu told you, Maazin Nnamdi Kanu educated our people, want our people to wake up and rise up and see what has before them, and see what the Nigerian government are planning to defend ourselves. That if we don't defend ourselves, we are all going to be killed. One minute. Oh, sorry. So So you see that these people that are responsible for our protection are not actually there for us. They are our enemies. That is why the Fulanis will be doing everything that they are doing. Nobody is holding them into account. Nobody is holding them at all. They are free to kill, and nobody is free to defend itself. So the same thing they accused Mazin Nnamdi Kanu, incitement, because he was telling his people to protect themselves, to protect our communities. The same people they are accusing this LS. So I want us to listen, because
a rhetoric some security officials may be fueling the cycles of reprisal attacks, deepening a crisis rooted in decades of mistrust. Government sources say his visa has been revoked, citing concerns over his activities in the region. But Alex Babir disputes that claim, insisting his intervention is aimed at protecting vulnerable populations, not escalating conflicts. Tonight, he joins me from outside Nigeria to respond to the many questions Nigerians are asking. Also joining us from Lagos is Obafemi George, scientist, policy expert, and alumnus of the Harvard Kennedy School, offering a broader perspective on the role of non-state actors in either escalating or de-escalating conflict situations. Gentlemen, thank you for joining us. Let's begin now, Alex. Well, Alex, can you hear me, Alex? It's good to see you.
Yes, sir.
Well, for many Nigerians now, the issue is not whether your visa was revoked or not. The question is, why does it appear your activity in Plateau State and indeed Benue State is making an already bad situation worse?
So I would first pose the question, what that has been done has made it worse?
Well, your comments and the rhetorics you're pushing, calling on the local population to defend themselves at a time when the government is already, working with security agencies to ensure that this violence and the whole tit-for-tat violence we're seeing in this region is brought to an end. And, they say that your comments and rhetorics are kind of insightful in that area at very sensitive time.
Yeah, so I don't really see which comment has been insightful. I've called that, one, the terrorism should end, that the government should be doing everything in their power to protect innocent people, Muslim and Christian alike. I've been very vocal about, obviously, the Christians who are being killed across Plateau, Benue, Taraba, those types of states. But I've never rejected, and I've directly talked about the violence happening in Zamfara, in Katsina, and Sokoto and Kwara. I mean, the ones who were killed in the Woro massacre, which you're very aware about, were primarily Muslim people. There's still hundreds of people that are in captivity that were kidnapped, both in Kwara and then also, we saw recently with ISWAP and Boko Haram in Borno State, hundreds of people that are still in captivity. And so the things that I have said, I would say that I would ask people to show me and tell me specifically what rhetoric and what words are causing anything. Because for me, I've called that, yes, innocent people should be defending themselves. In America, we can do this. In America, you have more guns than you do people. And so, this type of issue can't even really happen in America.
But
because
this is,
if I were to go to someone else's house, they would defend themselves.
Alex, this is Nigeria, and the peculiarities are different. Yeah. In Nigeria, we also have laws against the proliferation of arms, unlike in the United States of America. Here in Nigeria, we depend on the government and security agencies, to defend the population. Right. So that's why the government and indeed certain stakeholders find, this narrative you're pushing offensive and capable of inciting the people. There are also claims that there was a meeting you held with the local population, and after, talking to them, there was a reprisal, a revenge attack that also led to the death of two other people in Plateau State.
That was already done before I arrived. What I noticed was the burning and the fire, the people had taken revenge, and that fire was actually where the attack happened, which I found out after I had left Angwarukuba. So they had killed 2 people, innocent people that were Muslims from what I was told, in revenge for the original attack. And those 2 people were in a keke from what I was told. And so they were killed before I arrived. So it's a false narrative to try to say, oh, decades, have Christians not taken revenge after being attacked in Jos? This is nothing new. It's been happening for 20 years. You know, let me tell you this. The founder of the ministry that I work with in Jos, he was murdered by Muslims in front of the university. He was on the way back from a funeral because it was the middle of a crisis. He was cut into pieces.
What?
His body parts into pieces in the middle of a crisis. This was 7, 8 years ago. I wasn't there. So it's a false narrative to try to say that, oh, because a white man changed, all of a sudden people are killing people. For decades, people are killing people.
Alex, you said something earlier that Muslims are also being killed. You talked about Zamfara,
Absolutely.
Katsina State.
Absolutely.
So why continue pushing a narrative that appears to support what they call now the Christian genocide, when you also agree and you have admitted that Muslims alike are also 100%. Being killed? There's a peculiar problem. How well do you understand these problems, before coming with your own intervention to try to, talk to the people?
Yeah, no, it's 100% truth. Like I said, Muslims are being killed in Nigeria. This can't be questioned. It's a fact. But there's 2 things that I want to really be clear about, okay? If you say that Christians are being killed and there may be a Christian genocide, that doesn't mean that Muslims are not being killed in Nigeria. And so I want to be very clear about that. What I am saying and what I have seen with my own eyes and what I've heard from Christians and Muslims alike in Nigeria, there's 2 things. In Zamfara, in Borno, Kwara, Katsina, Sokoto, Muslims are being killed, Muslims are being kidnapped, hundreds and thousands of villages have been burned. It's pure evil. Across the Middle Belt, specifically in Plateau, Kaduna, Benue, Taraba, the truth is that Christians are directly being targeted. That can't even be disputed. And the question that I would ask is, if this is not the case, how many Muslims and how many Fulani people have been killed? How many of their villages have been burned in these states? So again, I'm only referring to Plateau, Taraba, Benue, Kaduna, those places. Fulani cattle herders are not killing their own people. They're not burning their own villages. They're going and targeting Christians in their villages. And so that is why we are saying, okay, in these states, Christians are being targeted. We're not saying Muslims are not being killed and Muslims are not suffering across Nigeria, because they are. That's the truth. It's a fact. And I've never said anything different than that.
All right, Alex, I would ask you now, it has been alleged that, you're serving the interest of foreign influences. You even had to debunk claims yourself that you're a CIA agent. You continue to insist, your intentions are genuinely to protect vulnerable Christian communities. Well, but even the road to hell is paved with good intentions, Alex. How do you explain allegations that, you were invited by a certain aide to the former governor of Benue State to push certain political agenda in Nigeria?
If I were to respond to every allegation, I would never move from a newsroom. The reality is that people will continue to allege anything they desire, anything they think. And what I would say is, if you want to allege something, then there needs to be evidence or proof of such. You can't just say that I'm going to allege that this person is this person is that, this person has done that, but I have no proof of that actually being done. So if someone wants to say, oh, this person is CIA, he's a foreign operative, foreign agent, what shows that I'm a foreign agent or a foreign operative? Is there any type of proof or evidence at all? And even more so, which CIA operative or foreign agent is in the public eye? I mean, everything about me is public. I don't try to hide anything. You can see my life, my history, where I played football, what state I'm from, where I do work, what countries I go to, what I've built. I'm very open. I have nothing to hide. So it's on the burden of the people to show proof, not for me to disprove false allegations with no proof.
All right, then, Alex, I'll come back to you, but let's get Obafemi George now into the conversation. Mr. Obafemi, you've listened to Alex Babir's defense. Now, my question is, at what point does humanitarian intervention cross the line into political interference or conflict escalation?
Thank you, Femi, for having me. And I've listened attentively to Alex. And I've also, looked at his footprint on social media to see the work that he has done. To start with, he's done well. Building 35 houses in Benue, that's commendable. However, foreigners should desist from a messiah mentality. When you come into a country like Nigeria that is extremely complicated, you cannot understand where we are coming from in 1 month, in 2 months, or even studying our history in 2-3 years. The reason why the comments of people like Alex, why he got people agitated, and I've seen his social media, I've seen the things he said on Instagram. The reason why people are agitated, why someone like me will be concerned, is because I remember what happened in Rwanda, the genocide between the Hutus and the Tutsis. The Hutu president was killed in a plane crash, allegedly by the Tutsis. And someone went on radio station out of passion and just started saying, oh, are you going to watch the cockroaches kill our president, kill the cockroaches? And Femi, before you know what's going on, within just 100 days, almost 1 million people were massacred. And that was ignited by a passionate comment by a radio presenter on the radio in Rwanda. So that's why, innocent comments, opinion by Alex based on what he had seen, that's why it gets people agitated. And before anybody can draw up a conclusion about the things that are happening in Benue and Plateau, it's a deep issue, Femi. It go back to over 200 years. If you allow me, let me tell you what's going on, because you see, the insecurity in the north has different dimensions. What's going on in Plateau, in Benue and Nasarawa is different from what's going on in Zamfara, or the killings in Kaduna, or the killings in Borno. They are two different issues. But specifically, since the conversation about Plateau and Benue, Femi, if you look at the composition of Plateau and Benue, those are predominantly Christian states. In Plateau, you have the Birom. In Benue, you have predominantly the thieves. Now, those were not tribes. Those were independent nations prior to colonization. And now, over 200 years ago, a jihadist, Usman Dan led a jihad from northwest, conquered Kano, conquered Katsina, Sokoto, parts of Kebbi. However, that jihad failed in Benue. Benue wasn't existent, but the TV land, because the TV were able to resist that jihad. Likewise, it failed in Plateau and failed in part of the northeast. In Borno, because the Kanuri were also able to resist the jihad. And now, even though the jihad ended in 1815, the issues did not end. It was only quiet. Now, 1960, during the First Republic, when politics started in Nigeria, in the north, you had the Northern People's Congress, led by the Sadana of Sokoto, who was a great-grandson of Usman Dan Fodio. In the western region, you had Action Group, led by Chief Obafe Olowo. Now, in what you call the Middle Belt today, the North Central, Plateau and Benue, they refused to align politically with NPC, because for them, they saw that as an unequal relationship. So instead of aligning with them, they aligned with Western Region, Awolowo. Now, that did not go down well with NPC in the north. And NPC tried to use political power to suppress .
Okay, thank you so much. Sorry, I was a little bit, engaged. So I want us to listen to that again from the beginning. I want us to listen because I want us to understand what is actually playing out here. Here you can see the news anchor, Femi, Femi Akande.
Program we spoke with the Senior Special Assistant to President Bola Tinubu on community engagement in the North Central. Abiodun Eshet on the federal government's response to the persistent violence in Plateau State. During that conversation, one name stood out: Alex Babir, a Christian missionary now at the center of a growing controversy. He has been accused of encouraging local communities to take up arms in self-defense, a rhetoric some security observers believe may be fueling the cycles of reprisal attacks, deepening a crisis rooted in decades of mistrust. Government sources say his visa has been revoked, citing concerns.
Government sources say his visa has been revoked. Then you ask yourself, this is a missionary that came to do a job in Nigeria, and in the process of his job, he see the atrocity that is happening, and he's speaking out. The reason why LS Bieber was speaking out is for the government to act. The reason why he was speaking out is for the people to be protected. The reason why he is speaking out is for the government to take action against the killers, against the jihadists, against the people who are responsible for the mass slaughter of people in Plateau and every other parts of Nigeria that we have insecurity and terrorism. But instead of the government to act, instead of the government to take responsibility of their failures, instead of government to put measures in place to protect the people, instead of the government to go against the terrorists and terrorism, the government now see him as a problem, see Alex Bieber as somebody who is insightful, as somebody who is causing unrest and insecurity in the land. This is the reason why the people are being killed. This is the reason why people are dying and nobody is speaking. This is the reason why people are not held into account for their atrocities. This is the reason why you see people are being killed. People are dying and nobody is speaking. Because those who are speaking, the government locked them up. If this Alex Bieber was to be a Nigerian, believe you me, the government would have locked him up. If they didn't kill him, they would have locked him up. But seeing that he's from America, and you know Nigeria are so afraid of America, because should anything happen to Alex Bieber, the American government is going to hold Nigerian government accountable. Nigerian government is going to hold Nigerian government accountable should anything happen to this man. If anything should happen to Alex Bieber, the Nigerian government will be held into account. So what do? They now have to revoke his visa, if at all it was revoked, because that is the information. They are trying everything to make sure that they send him back to where he's coming from, so that he will not continue to expose the atrocities that those in power are committing against the people. That is the reason why they are sending him back. The reason why they are tackling LS is because they see him as somebody who is exposing the agenda of the caliphate. They see him as their obstacle, as an obstacle to their So you can see the situation that Nigerians are facing under their government. The government are not there for their protection. Rather, the government are there to tackle those who want to directly help government, or who want to, pinpoint the lackluster attitude or the failures of the government to the world. These are the people that they want to prosecute. That is why they want LS to go back to where he's coming from, because he's exposing the atrocity. It's very, very sad. Very, very sad.
Over his activities in the region, but Alex Babir disputes that claim, insisting his intervention is aimed at protecting vulnerable populations, not escalating conflicts. Tonight, he joins me from outside Nigeria to respond to the many questions Nigerians are asking. Also joining us from Lagos is Obafemi George, political scientist, policy expert, and alumnus of the Harvard Kennedy School, offering a broader perspective on the role of non-state actors in either escalating or de-escalating conflict situations. Gentlemen, thank you for joining us. Let's begin now, Alex. Well, Alex, can you hear me, Alex? It's good to see you.
Yes, sir.
Well, for many Nigerians now, the issue is not whether your visa was revoked or not. The question is, why does it appear your activity in Plateau State and indeed Benue State is making an already bad situation worse?
So I would first pose the question, what that has been done has made it worse?
Well, your comments and the rhetorics you're pushing, calling on the local population to defend themselves at a time when the government is already, working with security agencies to ensure that this violence and the whole tit-for-tat violence we're seeing in this region is brought to an end. And,
You see the lies that they are pushing at the time that the government and the security agencies are doing something to bring the insecurity to an end. At this man, did the insecurity start today? The insecurity, did it start before LS come? Of course, the insecurity have been there. What has the government done to make sure that they stop this insecurity? Absolutely nothing. So why are they blaming LS for speaking out? Because the government is actually not ready for solution to this problem. So
they say that your comments and rhetorics are kind of insightful in that area at a very sensitive time.
Yeah, so I don't really see which comment has been insightful. I have called that, one, the terrorism should end, that the government should be doing everything in their power to protect innocent people, Muslim and Christian alike. I've been very vocal about, obviously, the Christians who are being killed across Plateau, Benue, Taraba, those types of states. But I've never rejected, and I've directly talked about the violence happening in Zamfara, in Katsina, in Sokoto, and Kwara. I mean, the ones who were killed in the Woro massacre, which you're very aware about, were primarily Muslim people. There's still hundreds of people that are in captivity that were kidnapped, both in Kwara, and then also, we saw recently with ISWAP and Boko Haram in Borno State, hundreds of people that are still in captivity. And so the things that I have said, I would say that I would ask people to show me and tell me specifically what rhetoric and what words are causing anything. Because
you had LS understands that he committed no crime. His words never incited anything. He was specific in what he was saying. He was telling the people to defend themselves. The government are not defending them. To protect yourself is not a crime. So he's telling them, now tell me, pinpoint for me that specific thing that you say is inciting the people. I want to know, because the last time I checked, I'm only telling people to protect themselves. which is not a crime. Even in America, they are even given opportunity to own guns, so that if you find yourself in any situation, any danger, you can be able to defend yourself. But you see, Nigeria is already designed so that the people cannot rise up to protect themselves. That is why they have the audacity to call this LS and to be questioning him, trying to instigate fear on him. This is what have made people not to be speaking in Nigeria, because the security agencies will intimidate, they will harass you, they will use their news medias to bring your leg out, they will kidnap, they will harass you, they will kill you. And that is why they have succeeded in silencing everybody from speaking.
Because for me, I've called that, yes, innocent people should be defending themselves.
Yes, he said, I have said it and I'll continue to say it. Innocent people should be defending themselves. Biafrans, have you heard?
You know, in America, we can do this. You know, in America, you have more guns than you do people. And so, you know, this type of issue can't even really happen in America.
But this is,
if I were to go to someone else's house, they would defend themselves.
Alex, this is Nigeria, and the peculiarities are different. Yeah. In Nigeria, we also have...
You see them? These are the news medias. These are the Lokon TV stations. These are the agents of the devil. These are the people that are making this Fulani's head too big. These are the people who are responsible for the calamity that befell the Nigerian people.
Have laws against the proliferation of arms, unlike in the United States of America. Here in Nigeria, we depend on the government and security agencies, you know, to defend.
So what this man is saying is that in Nigeria, we don't depend, we don't have law to protect ourselves. In Nigeria, we don't have laws to protect ourselves. We depend on the government for protection. That is what this DVC newsman is saying. In Nigeria, the government defends the people. In Nigeria, it is the government's responsibility to protect the people. The people have no right to protect themselves. The people should not be engaged into self-defense. That is what this Akande or this news anchor is telling you. That in Nigeria, the defense, the protection of the people lies with the government. If the government should not protect you, Okpare, that you should as well hand your life to the terrorists. That is what he's saying here. I want you to hear it again. We are going to go back again, so that I want our people to understand the situation that we find ourselves in, that evil contraption. The situation that you find yourself is that you cannot protect yourself. You cannot defend yourself. You cannot defend your women and children. No. Leave the government to defend you. If the government did not defend you, your life is gone. You can as well hand over your life to the terrorists to come and kill you. That is what this man is telling you. That is what they expect Biafrans to do. That is why when they see the Biafran Defense Forces, their head swells up. Because they are not expecting us to defend ourselves. They are not expecting us to form a kind of protective measure for Biafra land. They are not expecting the Biafran government in exile to come and tell Biafrans in the homeland that they are protected. They don't expect us to have the defense to protect our women and children. They expect everything to come from the government, where the government is incapable. They don't want you to be capable. Where the government cannot protect you from, they don't want you to protect yourself. This is the reason why this man has to open his mouth and say, oh, America is different from Nigeria. In Nigeria, we depend on government for everything. We don't depend on government for everything. The Biafran people defend on themselves. We defend on our government to protect ourselves. If the government fails to protect us, we are going to protect ourselves. And that is what we are doing. That is what the Biafran people are doing, irrespective of the stand of the Nigerian government, because that is the reason why they are holding Mazen Nnamdi Kanu for speaking out for self-defense. That is the reason why they hold our first Prime Minister, Simon Ekpanjoko, for speaking out against the Nigerian government atrocities in Biafra land. So, Nigerians, your lives are in danger. Your lives are in danger because you are not expected to defend yourself.
Defend the population. Right. So that's why the government and indeed certain stakeholders find, this narrative you're pushing offensive, and
they are telling you that this narrative is pushing is offensive to the people because the politicians, they want a quick execution of the Islamic agenda. And when you speak like Alex, it means you are putting sand in their gari. Yes. It means it's going to send a very wrong signal to the terrorists, because when the terrorists are coming, they know that you don't have guns. So remember, when the terrorists come to kill you, they know that you don't have guns. They know that the government tell you not to defend yourself. They're going to defend you. So the terrorists will come with machete, come with guns. They kill and go. But once you are told that you need to defend yourself, you now have to put protective measures in your family. You have to buy guns, you have to buy arms, you have to buy machete, anything that you can lay your hands upon to protect yourself. You now have to protect yourself with it. So when the terrorists hear that you are protecting yourself, it will make them be very cautious of coming to kill you in your community. So this is the wrong narrative they want to send to the people, so that you don't defend yourself. So that when the terrorists come, they'll kill you, and the government will say, oh, they are doing something, whereas nothing is being done to change the situation.
Capable of inciting the people. There are also claims that there was a meeting you held with the local population, and after, talking to them, there was a reprisal, a revenge attack that also led to the death of two other people.
You listen. They are now trying to accuse him that, after a meeting, he told people to defend themselves. That it now led to people now attacking the other because of what he said. And look at what he listened to.
In Plateau State.
That was already done before I arrived. If you actually, what I noticed was the burning in the fire, the people had taken revenge, and that fire was actually where the attack happened, which I found out after I had left Angwarukuba. So they had killed two people, innocent people that were Muslims from what I was told, in revenge for the original attack. And those two people were in Akeke, from what I was told. And so they were killed before I arrived. So
you see that? You see that? They are trying to pin a retaliatory action on Alex. They are trying to tell him that, your action is inciting people, it's making people to go on a revenge mission. And look at their faces. Look at the faces of these two Yoruba persons. Because they are not happy. They are not happy that the government which they represent, the government which they are speaking for, is being held into account. They are not happy about that. So they want to do everything to make sure that those who try to hold the government into account are silenced. That is what they are doing here. And look at their faces.
It's a false narrative to try to say, because this person came that they went and did this. For 2 decades, have Christians not taken revenge after being attacked in Jos? This is nothing new. It's been happening for 20 years. Let me tell you this. The founder of the ministry that I work with in Jos, he was murdered by Muslims in front of the university. He was on the way back from a funeral because it was the middle of a crisis. He was cut into pieces. his body parts into pieces in the middle of a crisis. This was 7, 8 years ago. I wasn't there. So it's a false narrative to try to say that, oh, because a white man came, all of a sudden people are killing people. For decades, people are killing people.
Alex, you said
exactly. I love this, Alex. He's giving it to them, educating them. He also knew that these Muslims have beheaded Christians, have killed the founder where he came to represent, where he's working, that the founder was killed in front of a university. He was massacred and people reacted. Then he was not here in Nigeria. How is he now being accused of incitement? How? That is what Nigerian government knows how to do best. Trying to make sure that you don't speak. Trying to make sure that you don't defend yourself. Making you, powerless. That you can't even act. The terrorists can just walk into your home and kill your wife, kill your children. No action you have to take. You have to just lie down and pray. This is what the Nigerian government wants Nigerians to do. They don't want a scenario whereby people are preaching self-defense. No. But it's quite unfortunate. The only where these things can happen will only happen in the north. It can never happen in Biafra land anymore. Because the Biafran people, we are defending ourselves. We are defending our women. We are defending our children. We are protecting our land. We are protecting our land. You don't expect somebody who is alien to you, somebody who is a visitor, somebody who is a stranger, come to my community, kill my wife, kill my children, and you just be watching morose. You fold your hands and be watching them. It can never happen in Biafra land. And this is the reason why we're calling on Biafrans to rise up. This is the time to protect ourselves. We have a government. We don't say you should carry arms. Support financially the government. The government is capable. We have men and women who have taken that responsibility. We need your support so that the government can do more for that protection.
You said something earlier that Muslims are also being killed. You talked about Zamfara, Katsina State. So why continue pushing a narrative that appears to support what they call now the Christian genocide, when you also agree and you have admitted that Muslims alike are also 100%. Being killed? There's a peculiar problem. How well do you understand these problems, before coming with your own intervention to try to, talk to the people?
Yeah. No, it's 100% truth. Like I said, Muslims are being killed in Nigeria. This can't be questioned. It's a fact. But there's two things that I want to really be clear about, okay? If you say that Christians are being killed and there may be a Christian genocide, that doesn't mean that Muslims are not being killed in Nigeria. And so I want to be very clear about that. What I am saying and what I have seen with my own eyes and what I've heard from Christians and Muslims alike in Nigeria, there's two things. In Zamfara, in Borno, Kwara, Katsina, Sokoto, Muslims are being killed, Muslims are being kidnapped, thousands of villages have been burned. It's pure evil. Across the Middle Belt, specifically in Plateau, Kaduna, Benue, Taraba, the truth is that Christians are directly being targeted. That can't even be disputed. And the question that I would ask is, if this is not the case, how many Muslims and how many Fulani people have been killed? How many of their villages have been burned in these states? So again, I'm only referring to Plateau, Taraba, Benue, Kaduna, those places. Fulani cattle herders are not killing their own people. They're not burning their own villages. They're going and targeting Christians in their villages. And so that is why we are saying, okay, in these states, Christians are being targeted. We're not saying Muslims are not being killed and Muslims are not suffering across Nigeria, because they are. That's the truth. It's a fact. And I've never said anything different than that.
All right.
And the reason why they're asking him about this is because Tinubu is a Muslim. When this Christian genocide was happening, they started practicing how they are going to present it to American Congress. Oh, you see Reno Mercury saying, oh, Muslims are being killed. In fact, the percentage of Muslims are higher than those of the Christians that were killed. You see all these Fulanis using that phrase, percentage of Muslims are being killed. 1 minute. Sorry. So,
Right, Alex, I would ask you now. It has been alleged that you're serving the interest of foreign influences. You even had to debunk claims yourself that you're a CIA agent. You continue to insist, your intentions are genuinely to protect vulnerable Christian communities. Well, but even the road to hell is paved with good intentions, Alex. How do you explain allegations that you were invited by a certain aide to the former governor of Benue State to push certain political agenda?
you see, they are the ones putting words in his mouth. They are the ones who are accusing him. They are the ones who are trying to, make LS feel that, oh, he's the enemy to the people. They are the ones who are pushing this narrative. that, oh, he's a CIA agent, that he was invited by somebody in the government of Benue State to come and push a narrative in Nigeria. So this, if you want to kill a dog, you have to give it a bad name. So in order to find something to make him to say they want him out of Nigeria, they have to accuse him for working for somebody. They have to accuse him for coming with an agenda that is against the government. This is the modus operandi of the Nigerian state. So Biafrans, this has continued to happen over time, over and over again. And we must understand that Nigeria is not a place for us. Nigeria was not designed for us. Nigeria was designed for the British interest. Now that Nigerians have their leaders, you have people who are their owners. Let Nigeria be disintegrated. Let the Fulanis live in their caliphate, while we, the Biafran people, we are able to live in our own
in Nigeria.
If I were to respond to every allegation, I would never move from a newsroom. The reality is that people will continue to allege anything they desire, anything they think. And what I would say is, if you want to allege something, then there needs to be evidence or proof of such. You can't just say that I'm going to allege that this person is this person is that, this person has done that, but I have no proof of that actually being done. So if someone wants to say, oh, this person is CIA, he's a foreign operative, foreign agent, what shows that I'm a foreign agent or a foreign operative?
Well,
is there any type of proof or evidence at all? And even more so, which CIA operative or foreign agent is in the public eye? I mean, everything about me is public. I don't try to...
Exactly. Nigerian government news anchors, they have met their match. When they tried to send all this false narrative, they thought that LS can be swayed. They love that, they want to intimidate him or threaten him in their news media, but LS is giving it to them. He's telling them what they need to know. There is no CIA that is in public eye. Do you know who is CIA? So if LS is a CIA, he's now in Nigeria, and a CIA operative will be in the public eye. That is what an education that they want them to understand. So it is the Nigerian government narrative in order to discourage LS from the good work that he's doing. But LS will never stop. Even where he's in Washington, D.C., or when he goes back to America, he will continue to speak. He will continue to lay his voice so that his voice must be heard. People need to understand the situation that they find themselves in this evil contraption called Nigeria. People are dying every blessed day. People are being killed. Nobody is held accountable. The Fulanis are moving very freely with their AK-47, with their bike, wreaking havoc, killing people, kidnapping people, beheading people. And nobody is talking about that. Even the people that want to talk about that, they will still want to threaten him. The government will threaten you so that you don't talk about Fulani's killing. You don't talk about the jihad. Biafrans, we need to rise up. We need to wake up. We need to understand that this Nigeria is not workable, can never be workable. Whether Obi is involved or Obi is not involved, Obi is an agent of the Nigerian state. Obi cannot talk about the atrocity that is happening. It's never. No politician can stand his ground to talk about this atrocity that LS is talking about, because they all understand that the government is complicit. They all understand that this is the government position. The government position in this case is to allow the Fulanis to take over indigenous people's land. As long as their families are protected, they don't give a damn what happens to you. And this is the reason why the Biafran government in exile is appealing to Biafrans to come out and support Biafran government. We now have our radio where we are going to be sending messages, information to the people. We have a television where you'll be getting your first authentic, verifiable information live on television, courtesy of the Biafran government in exile. All this narrative that the Nigerian government, this is why they deceived a lot of people in 1967, because they have the media to themselves. They control the narrative in the media. So they continue to carry out all manner of propaganda against government, against Biafran soldiers. But this time around, we are here, we are changing the narrative. We not allow them to change the narrative anymore.
Hide anything. You can see my life, my history, where I played football, what state I'm from, where I do work, what countries I go to, what I've built. I'm very open. I have nothing to hide. So it's on the burden of the people to show proof, not for me to disprove false allegations with no proof.
All right, then, Alex, I'll come back to you, but let's get Obafemi George now into the conversation.
That is it. This is actually what Biafran should understand. I want to take it away from here.
If you look at the composition of Plateau and Benue, those are predominantly Christian states. In Plateau, you have the Birom. In Benue.
Mind you, this person that is speaking is Tinubu spokesperson. Media, I think it's media and whatever is in charge of Tinubu affairs. So he is trying to tell you that, oh, this Plateau and Benue is predominantly Christian states. But those who are killing them are not Christians. Christians don't kill Christians. It is the Islamic jihadists that are coming to these areas to kill the people.
You are predominantly the thieves. Now, those were not tribes. Those were independent nations prior to colonization. And now, over 200 years ago, a jihadist, Usman Dan led a jihad from northwest, conquered Kano, conquered Katsina, Sokoto, parts of Kebbi. However, that jihad failed in Benue. Benue wasn't existent, but the TV land, because the TV were able to resist that jihad. Likewise, it failed in Plateau and failed in part of the northeast. In Borno, because the Kanuri were also able to resist the jihad. And now, even though the jihad ended in 1815, the issues did not end. It was only quiet. Now, 1960, during the First Republic, when...
What this man is trying to say here is that the issue of these killings was as a result of the issue that have between years he was talking about did not end, that is now coming back again. He's trying to say that this is not about Islamization agenda, but let us listen to him and see where he's going to arrive at.
Politics started in Nigeria. In the north, you had the Northern People's Congress, led by the Sardana of Sokoto, who was a great-grandson of Usman Dan Fodio. In the western region, you had Action Group, led by Chief Obafemi Awolowo. Now, in what you call the Middle Belt today, and school them in extreme religions and extreme Islam. So what is unfolding in Nigeria is bigger than what you see on social media. So we need to be careful.
You see what they are telling you? They are trying to tell you that what is happening in Nigeria is not jihad. That is bigger than jihad. They are trying to tell us, oh, when you are talking about this Fulani killing people, it should not be the narrative, that you should go back to 1960, 10,000 or 2,000 years ago and be able to preach the narrative from there, that it's not about Fulani. It is not about Fulani. They are liars. This is a government representative and he has to spin it. He has to spin it so that he exonerates his government from the complicitness in the killings that is happening in the Middle Belt and as well as all over Nigeria.
We can't just, wake up one day and just put out the statement and there. We know that Benue is on fire. We know that Plateau is on fire.
Well, Alex.
You know that Benue is on fire. You know that Plateau is on fire. You see them. They know that Benue is on fire. Plateau is on fire. But what are they doing to stop the fire? That is what matters. That is what LX is talking about. If you know that Plateau and Benue is in fire, what about other regions? What about Borno? What about Kwara? What about Kaduna? What about Southeast? The reason why they are not mentioning Southeast here is because the Biafran people have put up a mechanism in place. If it was not for the Biafran Defense Forces, they will still tell you, oh, what is happening in Southeast is bigger than what you see. This is the well orchestrated plan by the government to deceive the people. So you cannot deceive us. You cannot deceive the people. The government of Tinubu cannot deceive the people any longer. Biafrans are wiser. We know what is happening. We know what is playing out. The jihad, the conquest is on top gear. And they will stop at nothing to accomplish that task. But for Biafra land, it is going to be very, very difficult for them. Very, very hard for them because we have decided to protect our land, our women, and our children. Nothing is going to stop that. Nobody is going to stop us from doing that. Nobody. They are trying to paint a narrative. It's not Fulani. It is this. It is that. Before now, we have all the ethnic things. Before 2012, why did all of a sudden start during Buhari? Now Tinubu. Why is Nigeria on IOC? IOC, Organization of Islamic Countries. Why? Why are Fulanis taking over Nigeria? Why is the British recognizing Nigeria as an Islamic state? Why are they practicing Sharia in the 12 northern? Why? These are some of the answers that needed question that needed answers before you start to try to deceive the people. We know history. We have new history books so that people cannot read about it. People will not notice about it.
Let me bring you here now. Let me bring you in, George, putting everything into proper.
You see it. They are trying to, you listen to Obafemi George, putting everything into perspective. He is a protector. He is responding according to what his government wants him to respond. Okay? So, Alex have seen it all. He knows what is happening. So, all this Obafemi was saying, oh, this, that. So, that means since that time till now, the government have no plan. The government of Nigeria have no plan to stop the genocide.
Context. It certainly means that you need to first understand where Nigeria is coming from, understand our issues, understand our peculiarities before trying to throw solutions.
There is nothing like peculiarities here. There is nothing like peculiarity. We are not peculiar in any way. We are not the same people. We don't worship the same God. We don't eat the same food. We don't have the same culture. We don't even dress the same. We speak different languages. So what are the peculiarities? The only peculiarity is that we were joined together at loggerheads. We are joined together with our heads, joined together whether we like it or not. And one thing that is very, very significant for you to understand that the amalgamation of Nigeria was made on a faulty foundation and force. And there are people who were intimidated into that amalgamation, into that union, was that there was a clause in that amalgamation document. That clause states that after 100 years, if you people don't want to remain the same, because it means that they never agreed. It means that they never agreed. The South, the North never agreed. The Southeast, the Southwest, the North never agreed. So that was why they have to, okay, for the time being, remain like this until after 100 years. If you feel that you cannot coexist, then you can go your separate ways. That is the reason for that clause. That clause have expired in 2014. How many years? Is it not 11 years? 11 years, 2014. 2014, that Nigeria have expired. So why are you now still remaining in one Nigeria? Because that clause have expired. And we, the Biafran people, we are not Nigerians. We can never accept being Nigerians. The Yorubas can remain with the North. We don't give a damn. We don't care. We, the Southeast, we are going our separate ways. So there is no binding force between us and the North. We don't speak the same language. We don't eat the same food. We don't have the same culture. We don't dress the same. We don't. What is peculiarity when you talk about? There is nothing like peculiarity. So Nigerians should treat their own problems. Middle Beltans, the Plateau people, if you people still want to remain in Nigeria, even with the killings, destruction that you people are facing through, that is what you people want. You can enjoy your one Nigeria. But we are not going to remain in Nigeria. The earlier you people realize the situation in hand, the better for you guys. Because even as their Ezekiel, their Reverend Ezekiel is crying every time, he's lamenting every time he's crying, but after everything, you still call Nigerian security agencies and call the president to come and protect them. That means these people have not realized their problem. It means they don't know that it is the same government that they are calling upon that is killing them. So we will continue to speak to you people. We will continue to say it as it is. Those minorities from the North, our government have given you a platform. Automatic citizenship when Biafra is restored. What is required of you is to rise up and fight for your right and defend your women and children and support Biafra exit out of Nigeria. If Biafra do not exit Nigeria, you people will continue to die. Good thing, we have our Biafran defense forces that are protecting Biafran territory. You can continue to cry, you pray, you cry, you lament. At the end of the day, no solution in sight. Organize yourselves, self-defend yourself, your women and your children and your territory. That is the only way Nigerian government will take you serious. Otherwise, you people will continue to lament.
Solutions that these problems. Now, I would like to take you up again on certain issues here. Like the Nigerian government was not comfortable with these they call it divisive rhetorics that they say or allege that you were pushing in Plateau State and of course in Benue State. But my overall now, we have laws in Nigeria, and for the Nigerian government, it appears as if you have flouted some of those laws. Are you ready to be held accountable if indeed your comments, your actions and inaction?
Oh my God. You see, Nigerian news reporter, what has LS done? What is his crime? Is he ready to be held accountable? Accountable for what? What did he do that you are going to hold him accountable? What crime has LS committed for you to say holding him accountable? This is absurd.
Are found to have incited people to violence.
Which laws have been broken, can I ask?
Well,
and even more so.
Exactly. Which law did he break? Which law did the elects break? that you say is going to be held into account. You have to tell him the law that he has broken, because he didn't commit any crime. He didn't break any law. So why are you now asking such idiotic question? Tinubu TVC, Lokon television station. You people are the enemies of the people. You people are the enemies of the Nigerians. Your enemies are numerous. The government is your enemy. The security agencies is your enemy. The political class is your enemy. The journalists are your enemy. Numerous enemies here and there in Nigeria, with no end in sight for all these atrocities that they are committing.
So which incitement to violence has been done? You know, I appreciate the prior remarks and context regarding different issues in Nigeria. I would say that it's despicable to try to compare me to anything in Rwanda. It truly is disgusting. When have I called to murder one person? I have never once called for anybody to be murdered. I have called for people to be protected.
Well,
that the government
Alex,
is not doing their job.
Alex, maybe not directly.
Slaughtered.
Maybe not direct.
He is trying to force LS to say something like, "Oh, sorry for if anything." He has not committed any crime for calling for people to self-defense. What is wrong with all these journalists, all this brown envelope journalism that we have in Nigeria? This guy have committed no crime. So why are you still calling on him? Oh, not directly. Not directly for what? Not directly for what? He has not committed any crime known to law.
You maybe not directly calling for revenge attacks, but from what you're telling the people, they get more agitated, and this leads to
defend themselves
violence.
From
yes,
killing.
To defend themselves. Right? We have the government and security
agencies.
Protect
your own daughter and son from being killed by terrorists? Is that wrong? Is that harmful rhetoric?
Exactly.
To protect your families from terrorists?
Exactly.
Because it's Christians that we're saying to protect themselves? Everybody should protect themselves. And anybody in their right mind, if they are being threatened, if their daughter, mother, father, anybody is being threatened to be killed, it is their right to protect themselves. If you cannot live in peace and you cannot protect yourself, what country is this? I mean, if you can't live, what is that? Anybody in their right mind would not want their families to be killed. And that's all I call for. If the government is failing to protect you, you should protect yourselves from people who would take your life. There's nothing wrong about that. There's nothing breaking a law about that. There's nothing evil in that. And from my understanding, even in Muslim and Christianity, you should protect yourself from threats. I'm not saying to go and take up arms and go murder the government. I've never called for that. I've never called for anybody to be murdered. I've never called to do anything regarding the government. I said, protect yourselves from people who would threaten your life. Well, there's nothing wrong with that.
There is nothing wrong with what LS have said. Protect your people. Protect yourself. He has not called for arms against the government. He have not called for people to carry arms against the state. So what is this thing about LS? Oh, incitement, LS this, LS that. Nigerian government are afraid because the atrocities is being made open to the world, for the world to see that Nigerian government are doing absolutely nothing. They are not doing anything to protect the Christians that are being massacred. No, they are doing absolutely nothing. So if you see anybody speaking for the people, they come for you because they don't want you to speak for the people. They don't want people to stand for the people. They don't want people to defend themselves. That is the basic truth that this journalist, he could not say it, that, oh, Nigerian government do not advise people to protect themselves. He could not say it on air, but that is what they mean. Because LS is asking you, so you are in your house and somebody comes to kill your daughter. You will not protect yourself. You will not protect your daughter. Is that what you mean? So if there is any law that I, LS, have broken, let me know. Let me know what law I have broken. And of course, they know that that is just the fact. He has broken no law. He has committed no crime. So Why do they want him to, to try to say, oh, if there is broken any law, so he should be held responsible or held into account? That is absolutely rubbish.
No law has been broken.
Yes, an award-winning investigative journalist, he put out, he did some investigations, about, your involvement in Nigeria, and he said an organization that you are affiliated with, that Building Zion organization, is responsible for spreading divisive rhetorics in mineral-rich West African countries. Is this about a push for Nigeria's mineral resources, or it is truly about peace and finding lasting solutions?
You see the question they're asking him. They are now trying to, accuse him that he came to Nigeria for mineral. He came to make money in Nigeria. So that he's not actually here for any humanitarian purposes. This is what Nigerian news media is all about. They might have not, they don't want to carry out investigation. Accusation upon accusation upon accusation. That is how they roll. Because this is a government media. It's a government platform. So they are going to use it to spare all manner of nonsense, accusation and counter-accusation against a man who is here for the benefit of the people, for the betterment of the people who have been displaced by the same government. So you see how Nigeria is evil. Nigeria is evil. This Alex came from the United States in order to help the people who have been displaced, building homes for them, instead of the government to appreciate the great work that he's doing. But because Alex is speaking out about the atrocity that is happening, he's speaking out. Let the Fulanis now, if they don't know what is happening, why not them go and send their terrorists to go and kill Alex or kidnap Alex? Why not? Why not? Because they understand that American government is not going, should anything happen to him, Nigeria will be, in fact, Tinubu, all of them, Shetima, Nigeria, American government have intel of those who are sponsoring all these killings. These sponsors of terrorism, America knows them. So any one of them that try to give that instruction that something should happen to Alex, America already gets the intel. They are going to come for you.
To the conflict. And how exactly are you even working with government whose primary responsibility is to ensure the safety of lives and property?
Which minerals have I sought? I haven't done anything regarding any minerals. I've never made comments regarding minerals. I've never touched a mineral. I build churches, I build schools, I rebuild villages that have been burned. I stand for the oppressed. I stand for freedom. I stand for the innocent people to protect themselves from terrorists and people that would take their lives. I've never discussed minerals. I have no interest in minerals. I don't even know what minerals there are in Nigeria. I know there's tin because I saw tin miners mining in Barkin-Ladi. So I don't know where these allegations come from outside of people that simply are trying to slander, trying to spread misinformation and propaganda, to try to silence me, to discredit me, to try to shade over the work and the things that I am saying and what I am doing. But the reality is that truth is my greatest defense, because truth cannot be argued. A fact cannot be argued. Allegations can be argued. And this is an allegation.
All right,
but when there's no proof and there's no facts, there's nothing for me to say. I can't disprove, but there's nothing to respond to.
All right, then. Alex, what next for you? You have left the country. You deny claims or allegations or claims that your visa was revoked, but now you have left Nigeria. You're in Florida. Are there plans to return to continue with your work?
Absolutely, absolutely. I actually went to Kwara. I wasn't even supposed to be in Plateau during this mission. I went to Kwara to rebuild Woro, and when I got there, between the government, the governor, the chairman, military, they said that we're not allowed to rebuild Woro village. They said there was a heightened security risk in that area. And so I had to reshape everything. I had to drive 20 hours through the night back to Plateau to figure out what I'm going to do and to reallocate those funds specifically for building in Barkin-Ladi. And so I'm waiting to still go back to Kwara to build for Woro. I have money specifically for that in the account for rebuilding. And so we're currently drilling. We're rebuilding a village in Barkinladi. And so we even did some building in Kebi. And so, yes, I absolutely have plans to be coming back to continue that work. You know, that Alex, is what I do. And I'm waiting to go to Woro.
Alex, who is funding you? Who's funding your works?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm very open about this. So in America, when it comes to nonprofits, the primary people that fund these types of organizations are, one, you have individual people that give to charity. That's how nonprofits are primarily funded. Two, you have churches that give, and then you have also organizations that give. And so you have three pools of people that if they believe in what you're doing, they believe in the work that you're doing and how it's being done or whatever it is, then they support you with funds. This is how it works in America and
what do they want
countries all around the world.
And what do they want in return?
There's nothing in return. You don't get anything. It's charitable. So you give without any type of expectation of being given anything back. So that's how it works for charities and nonprofit organizations, which Building Zion is a nonprofit organization.
You will agree with me, there's been a lot of skepticism around,
you know the reason why he's asking him what he gets in return for what he's doing. The thing that this is the Nigerian mentality, the Nigerian mindset. Once you have a charitable organization that is giving you fund or church, go and rebuild communities. That is the avenue that Nigerians make money. Assuming this journalist is in a position of elect, those houses will not be built. He will now be riding big cars, wear agbada, buy private jets at the expense of the people's houses that are being burnt, at the expense of life that are being lost. That is why he's asking him, who funds you? What do you get in return? Because to them, those who have the Nigerian mindset, you cannot do anything humanitarian without having to pay yourself. Yeah, without having anything in return. So they expect less to siphon the money, because that is what they do. Money that is meant to build church, money that is meant to build homes, you now convert it to your own money. You now use it to buy mansions, to build big industry, to big churches. You build cars, you buy properties. Money that are meant for the development of the community. So that is why they were surprised. Oh, look at the kind of shirt that this guy is wearing. And he's so committed towards building this project. But if it were to be given to the Nigerian government, they know that this project can never be executed. The government will siphon the money. They will eat the money. The money will not get to the end, the people that it was meant to get to. That is why he's asking him, oh, LS, what do you get in return? And let's say, I'm free to talk about that. These are the people who are donating this money. The church is individuals, charitable organizations. And the money that they are donating, they want you to build, they want you to use that money for the project for which they donate it for. Not when you donate for school. They will go and build one thatch house and say it's a school, and the rest money they pocket it in their pocket. No, that is not the situation. That is not the position. LS is doing the needful, following the instruction, following what the organization that sent him to come Nigeria and do, and doing it to the best of his knowledge. So all these journalists, TVC journalists, or Lokon journalists, you people are the enemies of the people. You people cannot sell the truth to the masses. You people refuse to hold the government accountable for these atrocities. You are looking for a scapegoat. Unfortunately, in Alex, you can't have it.
Charity and charitable organization, even the USAID, we saw all of the allegations around their activities. But let me bring in
I've seen.
Yeah, let me bring in Obafemi George now. Mr. George, Nigeria has increasingly seen, non-state actors step into the fragile security space. Are they feeling a vacuum created by government failure or just complicating an already volatile environment?
So I'll be very honest with you, Femi. What we want to be talking about is actually what are the solutions? what can the government of the day do? Because you see, once there's a solution on ground, they don't need people like Alex to come and try to fix our problems for us. And if you ask me, one of the things that I believe, it's not a magic wand. It's not going to put an end completely to insecurity, but I'm convinced that it will reduce it by at least half. It's the creation of state police. Because one of the reasons why this has been going on is simply because in certain cases, federal agencies have been compromised. But when you have a state police, the motivation to protect the peace of a state goes beyond salary and remunerations. Because they want to protect their fatherland, they want to protect their indigenous land. So I'm convinced that state police, to a large extent, will curb insecurity. Secondly, I also think that justice that is seen to be done, not justice in the corner, justice that is seen to be done, will also curb this. Because you know what, Femi? For instance, if you look at Plateau State, Plateau was peaceful for decades. Crime started in 1994 when one situation felt that was an affront to them politically, and riot broke. 4 people were killed. After that riot, nobody was brought to book.
These are false information, false narrative. This is not about riot. It is not about riot. It is about the Fulanis taking over indigenous communities. This is not about riot. And of course, this is government representatives and this is government media. They are going to spin the narrative. Even when Buhari was here, it was the same thing. It was the same thing. So we should not be listening to all this garbage, because these people are agents of the state. And
happened in 2002, 2004, another 750 people brought to justice. So guess what? And difficult decisions. Once there is justice, then you don't need state actors to come from America and try to mediate. Reprisal attack would stop. Because what fuels revenge is lack of justice. Once there's justice, then there's no spirit of revenge, and therefore there's no reprisal attack. We need to put an end to this.
Well, Alex, final question from here. Well, we've seen several allegations, and you've also courted so much controversy with your activity in Nigeria. But on a final note, are you committed to seeing lasting peace, or seeing the government, restore lasting peace to Nigeria and ensure that both Christians and Muslim population are protected?
The answer is yes, unequivocally. To me, it's actually a shame that I even need to speak regarding injustice in the killings. And I would actually completely agree with what you just talked about, that if there was justice, I wouldn't even need to say a word. I would prefer that I could come and build a school, build a church in peace, not have to say a word to anybody, not be in the public eye. That's how I began in Nigeria. But because of how much injustice I saw, and how every time I come, I'm getting reports from all these pastors, everybody kill. I'm like, how can I be silent? And so when I see those things, I'm like, truth needs to be told, justice needs to be served, and we need to speak for the innocent, speak for the oppressed. And so I am on the side of peace. I wish there was peace. I wish Muslim and Christian alike that people did not have to be killed. Whether I disagree with your beliefs or not, that's okay. I'm not going to kill you because I disagree.
All right, indeed. Well, we've seen.
that was a very wonderful one from Alex. They were disappointed. He said it categorically how it is. If there was peace, there wouldn't be any need for him to be here. Yes, if there are people who are secure, he shouldn't be speaking. He wouldn't be speaking. It's because there is no peace and justice. That is why LS is speaking. And you don't expect him to keep quiet in the face of injustice. That is how real human beings behave. So, my wonderful Biafran brothers and sisters, this is why we are fighting for the freedom of our nation, Biafra. We are fighting to be free out of Nigeria because we don't have peace. There is no peace and there is no justice. There is no rule of law in Nigeria. Nigeria have destroyed our psyche. A lot of people no longer reason properly. A lot of people no longer reason properly because of what Nigeria has done to them. You see people suffering and smiling. You see people, instead of them to confront their enemies, you see that people prefer to die in silence. And it can never be our portion. It can never be our position. It can never be our portion and our position. And that is why we will continue to speak. We will continue to talk. We will continue to educate our people for them to understand that we need to be free out of Nigeria. Because Nigeria is not designed for peaceful people. Nigeria is designed for terrorists. And we are not terrorists. We are not terrorists. Nigeria is designed for terrorists.
Turn them up. Land to the whole world. Now who they talk? The voice of Biafra. We know they hide again, we don't show face. True don't wake up in no feeding race. From village squad to overseas, everybody they have frequency. We they stand the big bar, no shaking. No more silence, we they breaking. From the east side to the diaspora, now we be the real voice of Biafra. Biafra, they them hear us. Biafra, nobody can stop us. Biafra, fire they burn. Anywhere you they make it tune and done. Signal down strong, we don't reach everywhere. From Africa go Europe, then they hear I'm clear. We they talk truth, we know they fear. Turn them up. From Biafra land to the whole world. Now who they talk? The voice of Biafra. We know they hide again, we don't show face. True don't wake up in no feeding race. From village squad to overseas, everybody they have frequency. We they stand the big bar, no shaking. No more silence, we they breaking. From the east side to the diaspora, now we be the real voice of Biafra. Biafra, they them hear us. Biafra, nobody can stop us. Biafra, fire they burn. Anywhere you they make it tune and done. Signal down strong, we don't reach everywhere. From Africa go Europe, then they hear I'm clear. We they talk truth, we know they fear. Turn them up. From Biafra land to the whole world. Now who they talk? The voice of Biafra. We know they hide again, we don't show face. True don't wake up in no fit race. From village squad to overseas, everybody they have frequency. We they stand the dig by no shaking. No more silence, we they breaking. From the east side to the diaspora, now we be the real voice of Biafra. Biafra, let them hear us. Biafra, nobody can stop us. Biafra, fire they burn. Anywhere you they make you tune and turn. Signal down strong, we don't reach everywhere. From Africa go Europe, then they hear I'm clear. We they talk truth, we know they fear. Turn 'em up. From Biafra land to the whole world. Now who they talk? The voice of Biafra. We know they hide again, we don't show face. True don't wake up in no fit race. From village squad to overseas, everybody they have frequency. We they stand the dig by no shaking. No more silence, we they breaking. From the east side to the diaspora, now we be the real voice of Biafra. Biafra, let them hear us. Biafra, nobody can stop us. Biafra, fire they burn. Anywhere you they make you tune and turn. Signal down strong, we don't reach everywhere. From Africa go Europe, then they hear I'm clear. We they talk truth, we know they fear.
This Islamic world, and he blessed his creation, and he said, go ahead, you live in this beautiful world, be fruitful. Our God did not say, Biafra, go and live with Nigeria and let all these Islamic jihadist terrorists kill you all. Our God is a merciful God, God of love, and that is the God we worship. Through his son Jesus Christ, we will be saved and gain salvation. Not Islamic jihadist terrorists killing people, calling believing that they are fighting a just cause, or by killing way more Christians that will take them to heaven, while they have 82 virgins awaiting them, 82 or 72, because their God sometimes is unpredictable. Maybe the number have increased from 72 or 82 to over 100. That is why majority of them intensify on their jihadism. For all the saboteurs in Biafra. Remember what happened in Ghana. Remember what happened to the Islamic terrorist regime of Iran. Remember what happened to their top leaders of that terrorist. Remember, don't say you are not one. Disease from your evil way, all you saboteurs. Over 99.9% countries of this world condemn Nigeria, but they don't do that publicly or say it publicly. United States of America that have the balls to say the way it is and to come to rescue of Biafran Christians and Nigerian Christians. It's time to change the narrative, and that must happen. They have used media to silence us for so long, and we will also use the media to preach the truth about what is happening in our land, about what we the people want, about our demand, about our quest for freedom. For those that don't want to be free, if you want to remain a slave, if you want to be a slave, that is not in Biafra land. We Biafrans don't. If you want to be slave of the Nigerian terrorist state, you can live. Go to Sokoto, Zamfara, Meduguri, somewhere. Go over there and enjoy your evil Nigeria there. Or you can go to Dudua Republic. I bet you will not find it funny. It's not going well for Biafrans in the north, nor Biafrans in the southwest. The Northerners are destroying Biafran property, demolishing Biafran houses, destroy businesses, burning everything. Then you go to the southwest, the two-faced Oduduwa people. They are demolishing Biafran houses in Lagos, burning Biafran's business. The best place for you will be Biafra land, where your security will be guaranteed. Support the cause for freedom. Freedom is so sweet. Sweet, sweeter than honey, than gold. Your freedom is priceless. You can't trade your freedom with anything. Remember, not just your freedom. Freedom of your children, your loved ones, extended family, and your people, Biafra. Biafrans, wake up. Fight like never before. Imitate the Americans. Imitate the Israeli. Peace through your strength. We live in a wicked world. We live in a world that's full of bullying. If you don't stand your ground, they will bully you until you give up everything. You will give up everything you have. Give up your house. Give up your land. Give up your entire family. Even give up your own life. They will still not be satisfied. But these Islamic jihadist terrorists, they don't value human rights. They don't value human being at all. Terrorists that treat women like second-class citizens, that treat women like animals. People that worship evil God, blood-sucking God, that ask them to go and kill the infidel. Is that people you want to live with. People that while you are thinking good, why you are quoting Bible of live and let live, quoting Bible of God so loved the world, and they are quoting Quran to kill you. They are not compatible with our values. We try to coexist, but while we think good, they think evil. Remember your love, both those that have sacrificed for you and me, and the living. Remember your children. If you don't have children, remember your uncle, your auntie, your siblings, your fellow countrymen and women. If you don't want to fight for them, then fight for yourself. Fight for yourself to be free as well. Because if you're free, they are free. If they're free, you are free. Live and let live. We are Christians. We worship the true God, not the God that sucks of the innocent. Thank you, Biafrans. Our VOB is back. We'll make sure we talk, enlighten our people, educate our people, and us, more especially, the need for them to fight for their freedom. And we'll hope to know their enemy. We already know that the Nigerian terrorist state is Biafran enemy. They also need to know their enemy within. The elders, the ones that call themselves king and queen in every village, the ones that call themselves Ohaneze, wearing red cap, French chieftaincy titles, but at the end of the day, they don't fight for your interests. They don't fight for the community, and they claim to be head of the community. We need to identify those that are bringing the enemy to Biafra land. We will hold them accountable. It don't matter who it is. And all the illegitimate governors, both present and former, the illegitimate senators, those serving in Nigerian terrorist government, they are enemy of Biafra. They are enemy of the people. We will hold them accountable. What happened in Ghana will happen. What happened in Iran will happen. We take them down one after another. Freedom. We cannot trade our freedom for anything. If we don't do it, they will kill us all. If we don't do it, they will hold us in perpetual bondage. The time is now, and we must be free. We must be free. We must be free. All must go down, one after another. If it is a way that you know, support our freedom, support what we are doing. We have a lot of Biafrans that are capable. We have millionaires, billionaires, and trillionaires. We have those that know where all these evil are, all these evil ways, their hideout, their whereabouts, where they live, where they go. We have those that know everything about it. What about the so-called organizations that never fight for us, that never fight for our freedom? Rather, they trade our freedom to the Islamic jihadist terrorists for us to be slaves. Why they enrich from the deal they make with them? Don't you think it would be wise we go after them and hold them accountable? Are we talking about the illegitimate governors? Like somebody like Hope Ozorim that have bombed a lot of your family members. Remember, he killed a lot of Biafrans. Remember the markets. Remember, do you forget System? Soludo that destroyed the markets of Biafrans. What about Soludo with his security outfit killing Biafrans? These people are holding our freedom. Don't you think it's right time we take our freedom from them? What about Tumba? Oti, Nenaya Baribe, Kalu, and Oji Kalu and others. Russia, Sokorosha. Is it a P2B that killed Biafrans at Ugwacha, at Oji River? I mean, is it wicked that killed Biafrans at Ugwacha? Do you know these people are walking freely? And we have Biafrans that are answering big name with big title. How they are among the killed lions. But in their very own eyes, their children have been massacred. They do nothing. We cannot settle for less. We'll settle for the best. The best. And the best is peace. And the best is freedom. A lot of us that live in Western world almost forever now. It's so beautiful. Security is top-notch. Best of best. Electricity 24/7. Road, enjoy the ride. Air, not polluted. They have a system whereby every automobile, every machine will be serviced and reports to the government. Their emission system is the best and the best. They put everything in place for the basic needs of their citizens. They put their citizens' well-being is the most priority for any good government. Let me ask you, you that claim to be one Nigerian, Does Nigeria care about you? Benefiting from Nigeria? What are you profiting from Nigeria? Is it a good healthcare system? Is it good insurance scheme? Is it a good road? Is it a job that the government creates? Is it a two-way system? As far as I know, last time I checked, Nigeria stink, polluted, evils everywhere. If Nigeria is such a great country, do you think United States of America will want her citizens to this from 23 states in that disgraced country? Do you think United States of America will close the embassy in Abuja? It's not, because Nigeria is a dying house. Nigeria is not made to be. No country have expiring date. The British government created Nigeria 1914 and expiring date is 2014. 100 years. If Nigeria have expired date, that means even the British government know it will not work. After the period of 100 years, let's see what happens. They probably create Nigeria, believing Nigeria will not. They create Nigeria, mandated for 100 years and see, let's watch what will happen. Because they know Nigeria is more than one country. They be Nigeria. Thank you, my fellow citizens. Keep fighting in your freedom. Thank you. Voice of we are still working very hard to make sure that everything is working perfectly. We have a successful launching of VOB today. For so long that this terrorist country called Nigeria, with her ally, suppress and our voice. And for all the enemy of Biafra, we are coming. We are coming for you. We will hold you accountable one way or the other. Because our freedom is not negotiable. And we must be free. As for fear Biafra, remember your fellow Biafrans that were massacred, starved to death from 1967 to 1970. Remember your sisters, your uncle, nephew, cousins, aunties, your parents, your mothers, fathers that are killed by these terrorists. Till today, our land is still under siege. If you're one of the saboteurs, sabotaging our freedom, you must go down for us to be free. Remember what happened in Ghana years back, when Ghana is going through hard time and difficulty because of bad government, evil people, citizens of Ghana, they flee abroad, far and wide. A lot of Ghanaians make Nigeria their destiny place, of which later on Nigeria chased Ghana out of Nigeria. They say Ghana must go. But after Ghana cleaned the mess, deal with all the evil saboteurs, corrupt politicians that have sold their soul to the devil. Look at Ghana today. Ghana $1, I believe, is to 37 cedi or something. While $1 is to 1,500 and something naira of that evil country called Nigeria money. Ghana is far better than Nigeria. They have good light. Citizens of Ghana are living way better. When a man called Lawrence deal with all the evil politicians, at least we are not saying Ghana is perfect, but they are better off than they were years ago. Ask yourself this question: is Nigeria better off than Nigeria of 50, 60, 70, 80 years ago? The answer is no. It's getting worse every day. Nigeria is not getting better. If we don't exit Nigeria, just imagine what will happen. Just like the sinking Titanic. Are we going to sink with Nigeria? The answer is no for we Biafrans. Then for the Middle Belt, the Oduduwas, and the Arewa, if they want to sink with Nigeria, we pray that don't happen. But if they want to sink with Nigeria, they can go ahead. That is their destiny or their destination or what they choose for themselves. But we Biafrans, we want to live. Because our God created us to live in this beautiful world. And He blessed His creation. And He said, go ahead, you Biafrans. Live in this beautiful world. Be fruitful and multiply. I did not say, Biafra, go and live with Nigeria and let all these Islamic jihadist terrorists kill you all. Our God is a merciful God, God of love, and that is the God we worship. Through His Son Jesus Christ, we will be saved and gain salvation. Not through Islamic jihadist terrorists killing people, calling believing that they are fighting a just cause, or by killing way more Christians that will take them to heaven while they have 82 virgins awaiting them. 82 or 72. Because their God sometimes is unpredictable. Maybe the number have increased from 72 or 82 to over 100. That is why majority of them intensify on their jihadism. For all the saboteurs in Biafra. Remember what happened in Ghana. What happened to the Islamic terrorists in Iran. Remember what happened to their top leaders of that terrorist state. Remember. Don't say you are not one. Disease from your evil way, all you saboteurs. Over 99.9 countries of this world condemn Nigeria. But they don't do that publicly or say, thank God for United States of America that have the boss ladies and to come to rescue of Biafran Christians and also Nigerian Christians. It's time to change the narrative, and that must happen. They have used media to silence us for so long, and we will also use the media to preach the gospel truth about what is happening in our land, about what we, the people, want, about our demand, about our quest for freedom. For those that don't want to be free, if you want to remain a slave, if you want to be a slave, that is not in Biafra land. We Biafrans don't enslave. If you want to be slave of the Nigerian terrorist state, you can leave Biafra land. Go to Sokoto, Zamfara, Meduguri, somewhere. Go over there and enjoy your evil Nigeria there. Or you can go to Dudua. I bet you will not find it funny. Even now, it's not going well for Biafrans in the north, nor Biafrans in the southwest. The northerners are destroying Biafran property, demolishing Biafran houses, destroying Biafran businesses, burning everything. Then you go to the southwest, the two-faced Oduduwa people. They are demolishing Biafran houses in Lagos, burning Biafran's business. The best place for you will be in Biafra land, where your security will be guaranteed. Support the cause for freedom. Freedom is so sweet. Sweet, sweeter than honey. Valuable than gold. Your freedom is priceless. You can't trade your freedom with anything. Remember, not just your freedom. Freedom of your children, your loved ones, extended family, and your people, Biafra. Biafrans, wake up. Fight like never before. Imitate the Americans. Imitate the Israeli. Peace through your strength. We live in a wicked world. We live in a world full of bullying. If you don't stand your ground, They will bully you until you give up everything. You will give up everything you have, give up your house, give up your territory, give up your land, give up your entire family, even give up your own life. They will still not be satisfied. Because these Islamic jihadist terrorists, they don't value human rights. They don't value human being at all. Terrorists that treat women like second-class citizens, that treat women like animals, people that worship evil God, blood-sucking God, that ask them to go and kill the infidel. Is that the people you want to live with? People that while you are thinking good, why you are quoting Bible of live and let live, why you are quoting Bible of God so loved the world, and they are quoting Quran to kill you. They are not compatible with our values. We try to coexist, but while we think good, they think evil. Remember your loved ones, both those that have sacrificed for you and me, and the living. Remember your children. If you don't have children, remember your uncle, your auntie, your siblings, your fellow countrymen and women. If you don't want to fight for them, then fight for yourself. Fight for yourself to be free as well. Because if you're free, if they're free, you are free. Live and let live. We are Christians. We worship the true God, not the God that sucks blood of the innocent. Thank you, Biafrans. Our VOB is back. We will make sure we talk to our people, enlighten our people, educate our people, and us, more especially, the need for them to fight for their freedom. And we'll open their eyes to know their enemy. We already know that the Nigerian terrorist state is Biafran enemy. They also need to know their enemy within. The elders, the ones that serve king and queen in every village, the ones that call themselves Ohanese, wearing red cap with different chieftaincy titles, but at the end of the day, they don't fight for your interests. They don't fight for the community, and they claim to be head of the community. We need to identify those that are bringing the enemy to Biafra land. We will hold them accountable after we receive. And ultimate governors, both present and former, the illegitimate senators, those serving in Nigerian terrorist government, they are enemy of Biafra. They are enemy of the people. We will hold them accountable. What happened in Ghana will happen. What happened in Iran will happen. We take them down one after another for our freedom. We cannot trade our freedom for anything. If we don't do it, they will kill us all. If we don't do it, they will hold us in perpetual bondage. The time is now, and we must be free. We must be free. We must be free. All our enemies must go down, one after another. If it is evil that you know, support our freedom, support what we are doing. We have a lot of Biafrans that are capable. We have millionaires, billionaires, and trillionaires. We have those that know where all these evil everywhere, all these evil ways hide out, their whereabouts, where they live, where they go. We have those that know everything about it. What about these small organizations that never fight for us, that never fight for our freedom? Rather, they trade freedom to the Islamic jihadist terrorists for us to be slaves. Why they from the deal they make with them? Don't you think it would be wise?
Thank you, Biafrans. Thank you so much. I really appreciate every one of you. I really appreciate you for being part of this program. We have to do what we need to do. We have to continue to appreciate the great things that the government of Biafra is doing for freedom. Very, very, very important. Our people need to understand that the Biafran government in exile is doing exceptionally well for freedom. Our people need to know that our government is fighting for Biafran freedom. Our people need to understand that the government needs their support as well. A lot of things are needed in place for Biafran restoration. A lot of things are needed in place for Biafran restoration. So our people need to come on board and support what the government is doing for our freedom. Our people need to financially show that solidarity and that support. Because if we don't do the needful, if we don't support our freedom, we can never be free out of Nigeria. You heard what our Prime Minister was saying. You heard what the Prime Minister was saying. Sorry, Biafrans, I had a call. Sorry. So, Biafrans, I want to use the opportunity to remind us that we have an up ahead of us. We have a lot of responsibilities. We have a lot of responsibilities waiting for us. We have a lot of things to do. We have a lot of things to do for our freedom. And one of the things that is required at this moment is funding. Funding is very important. Funding is important more than any other thing. As it stands right now, what the government needs is funding our freedom. That is what the government needs more. So please, everybody support needed
From Biafra
Everybody
land to
support
the whole
there
world.
for our freedom.
Now who they talk?
Financially,
The voice of Biafra. We know they hide again, we don't show face. True don't wake up, you know fit erase. From Biafra. We know they
financially,
hide again, we don't show face. True don't wake up.
financially, we need to support our freedom. The freedom of Biafra is very much sacrosanct. Nobody
No
is
fit
going to
erase.
stop
From village squad to
our
overseas. Everybody they have frequency. We they stand gidigba, no shaking. No more silence, we they breaking. From the east side to the diaspora. Now we be the real voice of Biafra. Biafra, make them hear us. Biafra. Nobody can stop us. Biafra. Fire they burn. Anywhere you they make you tune and turn. Signal down strong, we don't reach everywhere. From Africa go Europe, then they hear I'm clear. We they talk truth, we know they fear.
Nobody is going to fund our freedom. Nobody is going to take that responsibility, which is solely our responsibility for us. Nobody is going to defend our land for us. That is the reason why we are calling on you, Biafrans. This is the time for us to come out and support and fund our freedom. Very, 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 very important. At this critical time of our freedom, we don't need to be wasting time. We have a government in place. We have a government that is protecting our land. The only issues that we have at hand now is the issue of funds. Funds. Very, very, very important. So having said that, thank you every one of you for being part of this restoration project. Our Prime Minister Ogechukwu Nkere is doing more than enough to make sure that we are free as a people. The government of Biafra is actively involved to make sure that we are free as a people. It is now responsibility and left for the Biafran people. The Biafran people should, with their whole heart, with their whole mind, at this particular time that we know that it is BRGIE that is in charge of Biafran freedom. We should not waste our time in frivolities. We should not waste our time in things that do not matter. If you are part of those who are following groups, I want you to know that you are not helping issues. You are not helping matters. You are not helping matters at all. Because as it stands now, the government of Biafra is doing exceptionally well for our freedom. The government of Biafra is speaking for Biafra. The government of Biafra is actively engaged, in issues that affect our people. More importantly, positivity. The government is focused on the positive. I'm trying to make sure that every negative action that Nigerian government is taking against our people is being checkmated. So we should support this freedom with everything that we have. everything that you have, we should invest it into this freedom. Once we are free as a people, then whatever difference that we have, whatever things that is affecting us as individuals differently, as a nation, as a people, we are going to tackle it at the appropriate time. Right now, what our focus should be is to make sure that Biafra is restored. That should be our focus point. To make sure that our people are free from Nigeria, because Nigeria have destroyed and continue to destroy. Nigeria have destroyed and continue to destroy families, continue to destroy people, and we are not going to always allow that to happen. So this is our time to make sure that we destroy Nigeria. Otherwise, Nigeria will destroy us. So having said that, my wonderful Biafran brothers and sisters, I want to appreciate every one of you. Every one of you that have been part of this program. Please share, and share, so that our people in the rural areas, in the communities, that we know that now we have the voice of Biafra that they should be listening to 247. They know now we have a television that will be carrying our news. They should do well as well to buy free-to-air decoders and install it in their homes so that they can get free access whenever we are live. The Nigerian government will try everything that they have, including using some of you that are enemies of Biafra, to see if they can destroy what we are doing. But they will never succeed. They are not going to succeed, not today, not tomorrow, not ever. Since 2024, people have tried to sabotage this government. People have tried to destroy what we are doing. But every action they are taking have met a brick wall. And that is why today, BRGIE is moving very forward. Our Prime Minister is actively engaged in Washington, D.C. for the things of Biafra. Our Information Minister, media-wise, is a guru. Is also very much informed about the media war. And the media teams are geared
turn 'em up. From Biafra land to the whole world. Now who they talk?
and goodbye from here. Goodbye.
We know they hide again, we don't show face. True don't wake up in no fit race. From village squad to overseas, everybody they have frequency. We they stand the dig bar, no shaking. No more silence, we they breaking. From the east side to the diaspora, now we be the real voice of Biafra. Biafra, they them hear us. Biafra. Nobody can stop us. Fire they burn. Anywhere you they make you tune and done. Signal down strong, you don't reach everywhere. From Africa go Europe, then they turn them up. From Biafra land to the whole world. Now who they talk? The voice of Biafra. We know they hide again, we don't show face. True don't wake up in no 50 race. From village squad to overseas, everybody they have frequency. We they stand the dig bar, no shaking. No more silence, we they breaking. From the east side to the diaspora, now we be the real voice of Biafra. Biafra, make them hear us. Biafra, nobody can stop us. Biafra, fire they burn. Anywhere you they make you tune and done. Signal down strong, you don't reach everywhere. From Africa go Europe, then they hear I'm clear. We they talk truth, we know they fear. Turn them up.